Have you ever been in a situation where a woman was giving off very obvious signals, but you only noticed when it was too late? Or worse, you misinterpreted the situation and ended up creating an awkward moment. Pay attention, because there's a real psychology behind it and most men never learn to interpret it. But today I'm going to reveal 5 hidden signals that almost no one mentions. Signs that even women themselves sometimes don't realize they're giving. And wait until you hear the 3rd signal, because it can completely change your understanding of body language forever. Before we talk about these signals, I need to say something very important. It's not about manipulation or cheap tricks. It's about understanding human communication on a much deeper level. It's about respecting the signals a person emits and building a more genuine and authentic connection. Because the truth is this, most human communication is nonverbal. Research shows that about 70% of our communication happens through body language, not through words. So, if you're focusing only on what someone is saying and ignoring what their body is demonstrating, you're missing a huge part of the conversation. Let's start with the first sign. This is a sign that is often misunderstood or even completely ignored. When a woman is attracted to you and feels an intimate connection, she will subconsciously begin to mirror your movements. In psychology, this is called mirroring and is one of the strongest indicators of attraction and comfort. For example, when you raise your glass to drink, a few seconds later she does the same. If you lean slightly forward, she leans forward too. If you touch her face, her hand will soon move to yours. This is not a coincidence. It's part of our primitive brain, which naturally tries to create harmony and synchronicity with someone with whom we feel a connection. But here's the part that many people don't realize. This mirroring should happen naturally and unconsciously. If you try to force mirroring or do it in a very obvious way, it will seem strange and manipulative. What you need to observe is whether she is doing it spontaneously. Observe the conversation for about 5 to 10 minutes. Is there any perceptible pattern? Do her movements seem to mirror yours as well as the pauses? If so, then this is a pretty strong sign that there is a deep level of comfort and attraction. Now we come to the second sign, and this one usually surprises people because it goes a little against what people normally think about eye contact. Almost everyone knows that eye contact is important, but what many people don't understand is the specific pattern of eye contact that indicates a more intimate attraction. When a woman feels attracted to you, whether physically or emotionally, her eyes usually do something very specific. She will look into your eyes for a little longer than normal. Then her gaze will briefly drop to your lips and then back to your eyes. This pattern is known as the eye triangle and is one of the clearest signs of romantic and physical attraction. From an evolutionary perspective, this makes a lot of sense. When we feel attracted to someone, our brain automatically starts to imagine being close to that person. The gaze that drops to the lips usually occurs because there is a part of the brain subconsciously imagining the possibility of a kiss, closeness, or intimacy. This is not something easy to fake or control, as it stems from a very deep and primal response. Therefore, if you start noticing this pattern, especially if it occurs several times during a conversation, you are probably facing a fairly clear sign of attraction. However, there is an important nuance to understand. A quick glance at the lips doesn't always mean something. There might be something in their teeth, or the person might just be looking at you. What you need to look for is a pattern that repeats at least 3 times during the conversation. If this happens, the sign becomes much more reliable. And when you combine this sign with the others we will discuss, the picture becomes much clearer. Now we come to the third sign. This is one that often surprises people quite a bit.